Welcome to the KeyBoard podcast, everybody. Three bored friends gather around a virtual table to discuss a variety of tech and entertainment topics along the never-ending quest to find the key to solving boredom. I'm one of your hosts, Cole. Join me, our co-host, Bailey.
Hello.
And not Ryan, because Ryan had a family emergency today. Anyways, thank you and welcome to episode 4 of our podcast. You can also catch us streaming the podcast live on twitch.tv/the KeyBoard podcast, or catch us after the live recording on youtube.com and podcast services everywhere. If you like what you're hearing and or seeing, please take a second to give us a follow or subscribe and give us a rating if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. Oh my god.
I'm proud.
How's he do it? How's Ryan do it?
You almost said the KeyBoard COD pass.
I hate this.
I got a little scared.
How's he do it? How does Ryan do it?
I was like, it's shocked. No.
Oh my gosh, I will never give Ryan any amount of shit for doing an intro again.
Yeah. No thanks.
All right, well, anyways, as I said in the introduction to the podcast that I flubbed a lot on, Ryan is not here today because he had a family emergency to go help out with. Everything's okay, nobody's hurt or injured. He just needs to go help his parents with some stuff. So this week and next week, Ryan actually won't be on the podcast because next weekend he will be camping. So we'll just wing it. But
that's the plan.
Yeah. But even though we're missing one of the core members of the podcast, in the famous words of Queen, the show must go on.
Okay. I feel a little dramatic, but it's just fine.
I mean, am I wrong? This show must go on.
True.
All right, well, if anybody was here during the pre-show on the Twitch, you have heard Bailey and I discussing some of the stuff that we wanted to talk about, and one of that was some gaming gear / like computer parts that we personally would want, recommend, etc., etc. So Bailey, you've been since last night at least. I've heard you talk about you want to get a 60% keyboard for whatever reason you have.
Whatever reason.
Well, that gives you a chance to explain yourself.
I mean, true, but yeah, this can also, all this topics and stuff can go towards anything that doesn't be gaming. It could be like podcast stuff, podcast mics, or just recording stuff or whatnot. But so basically 100% keyboard is all of the, like what you'd see on like a laptop, all of the like letters, and also like the enter, escape, function keys probably. And then I also have like a numpad and stuff on the right. It just makes it, I don't use the numpad for anything. I'm not crunching numbers on my keyboard. So a 60% keyboard would just be basically what you'd see on like a normal laptop or like an Apple laptop. Give more space on the desk. And I've seen a lot on TikTok, all the fancy keyboard culture people, which I didn't even know was a thing. First off, there's a whole bunch of people who's just like, how you go to like car shows or like car meetups and everyone like looks at each other's cars.
Yep.
I saw a video of people who brought all their keyboards that they had made and like sat them on like a desk, and it's like a keyboard meetup and they all show their fancy keyboards. I was like, okay, it's kind of weird, but it's also kind of cool. Some of them sound amazing, and the keycaps that you can get. Oh, what did you do?
Never mind it.
And like some of the keycaps you can get are like, so basically what you're seeing on.
I like, straight broke everything.
What did you do?
Never mind.
Did I turn my camera off on? No, I didn't.
No, I'm breaking things. It's fine. It's fine. Continue.
I also kind of broke my Discord too. It's fine.
What'd you break on Discord now?
That's fine. Nothing's broken.
Okay, it's fine.
So basically, the gist of this keyboard story is I want a fancy keyboard that I can exchange the little switches, and then the little switches are basically what you press the keys on. that can make like cool sounds. It can be like super loud, or they can be quiet, or they can sound like different things.
Yeah, it can
Um,
be very like clicky clacky like Seth's keyboard.
yeah, they can be clicky. They have like clicky, and then they have like tactile ones, and they have whatever. And they can get fancy like keycaps that could look like anything. I just want to be one of those people, and you have like fancy like weights underneath your keyboard. They can be like plated in metal. Which is I didn't even know any of this existed until like 2 weeks ago, and I'm addicted. Razer
Yeah,
is nice. I have a Razer keyboard. Razer is nice, but I want a fancy keyboard now.
Razer does make a 60% keyboard.
Yeah, but I want one of the cool like metal plated ones that are like you can exchange all the
Yeah, it has
little.
like a metal backplate and hot
Yeah.
swappable switches.
Yeah, I want that customizable stuff.
That's exactly what my keyboard is. It's got a aluminum backplate with hot swap switches.
I'm so jealous. I
It,
just want new keycaps. These are boring. I'll take one off. They're just like little. They're just no. They're just boring. They're black. They look similar to like a Mac keyboard with the backlit.
yeah, mine
Bah.
are.
I want new ones.
I would try to take one off, but I'm afraid I'm gonna hit a button and fucking destroy more shit. So
Yeah.
the video portion of the podcast is going to be a little scuffed this weekend, but hopefully the audio will be salvageable.
Oh, it'll be fine.
We'll just
It's
run with it.
fine.
It's
I now
whatever.
see that I can see the green borders lighting up around.
I told you I destroyed it. I wanted to move my Discord from my third monitor to my main monitor because
uh,
I I didn't want to
First world
be
problems.
right and fucking miss one monitor over there.
Okay.
But but I wanted to move my monitors because I wanted to be looking at Discord and not like just fucking Google Chrome or something. So by doing that, it resized Discord, which resized the windows, which messed up my window capture.
Literally everything.
It's
It's all
whatever.
broken.
It's whatever. You know, we're just winging it here. We don't have Ryan, who was our fucking tech support guy, who usually has all this figured out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that was my spiel on keyboards. I just want a new one.
so
And also,
is the keyboard the only like new thing that you want?
I need a lot of new things, but I don't need a lot of new things. I want a lot of new things. I want
Yeah,
a new mic, which
yeah,
will probably
new.
will be similar to the one that you have, because I like yours.
Yeah, I really like mine as well. Although fucking, if we're going to take this podcast thing serious, I would definitely like to invest in a better audio solution.
Like, like a better mic or like a Go XLR, like audio
Yeah,
editing thingy?
yeah, definitely like a XLR interface. Probably the one that Ryan showed us, that Aver Media, um, one that's basically like a Go XLR Stream Deck mix. But something like that, but definitely something that takes a XLR microphone because the control and the sound quality you get with XLR mics are very good just from out of the box. Like the reason why I like recording on OBS so much is because I can actually tune my mic even more than I just can normally because I don't use voice meter like Ryan does. But uh, I'm able to get my mic quality more to how I like it to sound on OBS. Although, unfortunately, I can't do that for Discord.
Yeah, and so like that AverMedia or like the Go XLR would probably just it would allow you to like change, like edit kind of how you sound basically, right?
Yeah, you can change your sound profiles and stuff like that. Also, like all the mixing you get for like desktop audio and
Mm.
everything like that. Also, the live feedback is a huge thing for me because when I have a headset on, I like being able to hear myself talk. Otherwise, I will either yell or I'll just mess up words constantly. Which, so the mic that I have now, it does allow mic feedback, which I really, really love.
Usually I play with only one headphone like ear thingy on my ear, the other one's not on my ear, so I can hear
Yeah.
myself talk. But in certain games or doing certain things where you want to have both of your ear cuffs on, I don't know, I just feel like I'm being loud. I don't have noise canceling headphones, but I don't know. I like them.
Yeah, with a lot of gaming headphones, they do offer a pretty good like cup around the ear, good seal. But they're also, because they're closed back headphones, you don't hear a lot of the surrounding environment anyways.
Hmm. Yeah, and I saw get a new headset eventually. These ones are. I had to get new ear cups for them because the leather on them was just like it's just falling off. It didn't want to be there anymore. It said no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that problem when I had a Razer headset as well. The leather would fall off and then the seam tore, and I just got a new headset.
They sold like new ear cups for like $20. I just got those. And then the battery on these is kind of, I like wear them. If I don't charge them overnight, the next day they will be very low on battery. So I love wireless headsets because I can just, you can do whatever you want. You can be all the way back here. You don't have to worry about wires. You can do literally whatever, but you have to charge them. And if you're bad at charging things, then they suck.
So, which headset do you have?
The Razer Mana War ones. And I think the reason I got these is because my brother had them.
Mm.
And before that, I was playing with like, I don't even know what I was playing with. Like a super cheap, like crappy, like probably someone who would be playing on like just like an Xbox mic. It just was like the ear cups. It was like on ear, like ear cup
Oh
headphones
God,
because the ear
those are the
cups were only
worst.
like this big, and your ears would just feel like they just wanted to fall off and just like go away. I just didn't want to be there anymore. And the mic was just, it was all plastic. It weighed like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this was like a good upgrade from that. I'll probably get new ones. My boyfriend Seth has Corsair ones, but I don't like the sound quality of them. They're super bass heavy. Maybe it's just because of how he set them, but every game just sounds so differently when I have his headphones on. It's just not. It's not it. Not for me.
That's kind of interesting
So
because I know Seth has a different Corsair headset than I had, but I found that between my Razer headset and my Corsair headset, the uh, the Razer headset was very bass heavy, whereas the Corsair one was very just like very flat sounding.
yeah, maybe that's what I meant. It just doesn't sound good. Whatever the sound is, it just doesn't sound good. I
Okay,
don't like it. It might be. I think it might be more flat instead of like more bass heavy. But
sure.
oh yeah.
Well, I got the Logitech G Pro headsets, and I love them. They're my favorite headset that I've owned so far.
Hmm. Maybe I'll have to try that next. I'm probably gonna start veering away from. I just have like all Razer stuff. I have a Razer mouse, I have my Razer headset, my Razer camera. I'm not getting rid of the camera. I really like this camera, and it's a good quality camera, and my Razer keyboard. But I want to get a new headset. The mouse is fine. I don't have any problems with the mouse. I'll probably get a new one eventually. Like those ones that they came out that were like super light and they had all like the holes on the top. Don't you have one of those?
Oh yeah, I got the
Is it
glorious Model O
yeah?
wireless.
Is it just like super light or what?
They are. And even
Mhm.
though I have the wired and the wireless version, and they weigh pretty much the same thing. They're like
Why do you have
68 grams.
why do you have both?
Just because I wanted to do a dual PC setup, so that way I could
Uh,
use my wired one for my streaming PC and use the wireless one for my main PC. But
fancy.
But like you were saying though, with your headset, not having wires is actually very nice. But I find that more so with the mouse than a headset. Because with a headset, it's very, you don't have to worry about dragging anywhere really when you're just sitting at your desk. But with a mouse, if like that cable is like kinked off to the side, or it's flexed in a way that it's holding that shape, when you're moving around, you can actually feel that. So not having the wire on the mouse is actually very nice.
Maybe I'll have to try that mouse next because I don't know, when I was like when wireless mouse were first a thing, which, for gaming at least, which wasn't too long ago. Um I always thought that like there was more of a delay in
Mhm.
them and like cuz they weren't directly connected to your computer or whatever. So that's why I got a wired one, but I have so many wires now. The whole back of my computer is just there are no ports left. All the ports are full of just whatever. There's a million wires everywhere and it'd be kind of nice to not have to deal with that and when we had a cat at my house, the cat took a liking to the cord when it moved and just like started eating it. So, I mean, the cords on the Razor mice are really nice because they're like weigh nothing.
Oh
They're
yeah,
just
yeah. They're
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 super.
they're braided too, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like a cord thing. They're not like a plastic like whatever. So it literally feels like there's not a cord. So I might as well
Hmm.
just get a cordless
Yeah, that's
one.
something that I really like about the Glorious Model O wireless too. Is it's it's plug and play. So if your battery is low on your mouse, you can just plug the cable in to the mouse, and you can still play, and it'll charge at the same time. But it's also a very lightweight, flexible braided cable, so it's almost like same quality as the wired uh, mouse wire. Obviously,
Hmm. Hmm.
just trying to
I
sell you on
also
this mouse.
Uh, you sold me on. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to sit on the corner of my desk because there's a window here, and I have a sit stand desk, and every time I lean forward, I just bump it, so the thing just is like meh. So I'm trying to not mess it up, but yeah, I mean, I need this was all the stuff that I basically have right now between like keyboard. I've got a few new mouses. The mouse is relatively new, but almost everything else is I got it when I first started playing like when I first got my PC, which has been like 4 or 5 years now, probably four
Mhm.
years. So all of like the keyboard, my pretty much my like everything, my headset except for mouse is like 4 years old.
Oh yeah,
So
sure.
I feel like it's time when I have money to get an upgrade.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I also want to get some cool mouse mats. A lot of places make really dope ones. I just have like I think the one I have right now is Corsair. It is a Corsair one. But it's like super thin. It's like wide, but it's only probably like 11 inches
Oh, it's
like
not very
from
like
the top to the
tall.
bottom. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good yeah. It's like wide enough. It's just yeah, it's not super tall. I
Mhm.
got it because my older mouse mat had claw marks in it from the cat. I love cats, but my poor mouse mat took beating. But that mouse mat was also like 4 years old, and it was like gross. So I need a new
Oh
one
yeah.
anyways. It was fine.
Yeah, Glorious makes a lot of accessories in general. They make more than just like the mice and keyboards. They do mouse mats and different cables, different feet for your mice, stuff like that. Because I have a Glorious mouse mat as well, and I really like it.
Hmm. Yeah, I've also seen like I've been into Etsy recently and like TikTok and stuff because I don't know. We started playing Dungeons and Dragons, me and my brother and stuff. So it's basically like you get your people together, you make your own like character. It can be like like kind of like a WoW or something, but like a game. But make like a ranger or whatever, and
Yeah,
then you
D
basically
and D.
go through like quests and stuff. I'm like, well, okay, not everyone knows what D&D is.
Who the fuck
Explaining
doesn't know
it
what
to the
D and D
group,
is at this point?
lots of people. But
Also,
so
losers.
I got my own fancy dice on Etsy, and
Nice.
they're super nice. So and I like supporting like the small businesses that people make instead of just buying like the same quality dice for probably like a few dollars less from just like a mass producer of dice.
Yeah, you say that, but you're a razor shill at this point.
Okay, I mean, okay. For like performance, I don't. I don't know if I could just go to someone on Etsy who just like made like a keyboard from like scratch or like 3D printed a keyboard and want to use it for gaming. Okay, there's like certain things that you can't like you gotta have
Uh,
like the quality.
uh huh.
But on mouse mat, I would love to look on like Etsy or TikTok and find people like a small company that like makes mouse mats, and I buy a mouse mat from them, and they look cool. So whatever, I'm over it. Talk about something else.
All right, you want to talk about how you're a fake Wisconsinite? Continue our conversation from the pre-show.
I'm not okay. I was like 5 years from being born in Wisconsin.
What?
And okay, like I'm saying my parents moved over to Minnesota from Wisconsin like right before I was born. They didn't like live there for a while. Like we've had that house that my parents have lived in probably for like 22 or 23 years, and I'm 22, so it's like I was like a year away from just being born in Wisconsin.
You're
and
22?
Not being I'm almost 23.
Fuck, you young.
How old are you? You're like 25. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I am 25.
Exactly. I'm like 23, so
25
whatever.
going on 60.
20.
How my body feels. Body's fucking falling apart. I like jammed my thumb like 2 weeks ago and it still fucking hurts. I'm pretty sure I sprained it or something. I don't fucking know how.
Bruised the bone. It's fine.
Oh, he did. Like normally I can like squeeze my right thumb in my hand and crack the knuckle. I can't do that with my left hand now. It hurts way too much.
I can't squeeze it. I also have a very flexible everything.
Oh, I thought you were just going to say you have very small hands.
That would not make the ability for me being able to crack my thumb like this any differently.
I mean, it could. You don't know that.
But my fingers are still small, like proportionally small. Like it's not like I have like a freaking long thumb and then like short little stubby fingers. So I don't want to hear it. Same proportions. They're small hands. It's fine.
Yes, so small hands, less grip surface.
My phone. I have the smallest iPhone. My hands are still smaller than it. It's fine.
This is me and my phone.
Okay.
Galaxy S20. Big boy.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But no, I'm not a fake Wisconsin. Every single person in my family is born in Wisconsin.
But you're not.
Me and my brother are the only two people not born in out of my whole family. Oh, my connection just went to red for a second, but it's fine.
Back.
Okay, first of all, Minnesota sports teams are not good. Second of all, you can root for your cousin, Adam, all of your cousins. Everyone in your family roots for like whatever team.
Because we're from South Dakota, we don't have a team.
Where were you born?
South Dakota.
Oh, you just lived in you lived in Minnesota when you were younger, but you just
weren't born we moved to Minnesota when I was about 4 or 5.
Okay. Well,
okay, your point.
I don't think you have to. There's infinite examples of people. You can be whatever sports fan you like. You can be like our friend Lazy, who only likes sports teams who do really, really well, and that's all that they roots.
Or he likes sports teams that do really, 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 really well, but doesn't like the fucking star of the team that carries the team. Fucking Lazy, a goddamn Patriots fan, hates Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's fine. And obviously Tom Brady was clearly not the root of their success because he obviously didn't go to the Buccaneers and win their Super Bowl.
That's the fucking craziest thing. Fucking Tom Brady and LeBron James are like the kings of just changing teams, but then taking that team to the fucking championships.
Yes. Why not? So, I root for some. I think football is the only thing that I like. I hate the Vikings. It's easy to hate the Vikings. They suck, but
they're not in my division, so I don't care.
Well, they're in mine, and we always win the division, so it's fine. Doesn't really matter.
Who else do you have in your division other than the Vikings? You have Packers, Vikings.
The Bears.
Bears.
And the Lions.
Lions. Okay.
So
Hopefully Jake
pretty
doesn't
easy
listen
division.
to this part of the podcast and fucking shits on us again like he did last time.
What do you say?
He's like,
Did I
you
say
guys know
something wrong?
more. No, he's like, you guys know more about video games than you do some sports. I'm like, fuck you, video game
What?
podcast.
Yeah, well, I know things about sports. I'm sorry. I'm not the person who's like, oh, you know something. You think you know football? Name every player. Like, fuck off. I- so you
You
know
think you
things
know?
about
You think you know
football?
football? Who created it?
Yeah, name every single player. Like, no, I can't name all the players. I know how football works. My family's a huge football family who all religious Packers fans, even if I hope
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers doesn't
Jake
suck.
is just the kind of guy that he actually watches like college football for the draft prospects and then watches the draft to see who's going
Okay.
where. He's very into football.
You don't have to. You could be a football fan and not know like who got drafted in 1930 set. Like what?
Yeah, like me.
Well, yeah, I can root for football. I know exactly what everything is happening when football's going on. I know all the plays. I know how football works. I know like 30% of the players, but it's fine.
I think this is what we
It
need to
works.
do. We need to have you, Ryan, myself, and Jake on the podcast, and we all just argue about football the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, sure, a lot of football. And I also
Football.
haven't really, ever since I moved out of my parents' house for like college and stuff, I haven't watched as much football because like I don't want to pay for that. So like
Don't you
I would
have
just,
you have Verizon, don't you?
yeah, but when you live in
NFL
Minnesota, you
app.
don't get all of the games. You don't get all of the games. You get
Yeah.
some games. And if the Vikings and the Packers are all like playing at once, then I couldn't watch like the game that I wanted to watch or whatever. At least I'm not Seth, who never watches a Bears game ever, but has two Bears blankets on the back. Says he's a Bears fan.
Yeah,
Okay.
fucking it's hard to be a Bears fan.
It's hard to be a Bears fan. It's hard to be a Lions fan. It's hard to be a Vikings fan. I think it's even more worse to be a Vikings fan because like they literally just gave away all of their good players. Like Stephon Diggs not there anymore.
Oh god.
Player
Stefan Diggs is
ABCD
fucking
not there
crazy.
anymore. Teddy Bridgewater goes to the Saints, plays amazing. Did he play amazing for the Vikings? No, he played like absolute garbage.
Fucking
It just
Vikings has that running back though. I can't remember his name, but he's fucking crazy good.
they have great like they'll have good receivers and running backs. They just haven't had a good quarterback for like I don't even know how long. It's been a long time. It just the buck.
Since Brett Favre's old ass is on the field, still
Okay,
taking
but
hits at like 40.
yeah, I know. I think that was a little like I think he needed to because he went to like a bunch of different places before, and I was like, well,
Yeah, because I think he went
just retire.
from Green Bay to the Jets.
Yeah, he definitely played for the Jets. I can't remember if he played for anyone else before the Vikings or not, but
I think I almost want to say it was Jets to the Vikings. I'm not entirely sure
yeah,
though. Jake will
maybe.
let me know, I'm sure.
I'm sorry, I don't know everything about everything. I'm trying, but
But no,
yeah.
I think that'd be fun though. If Jake wanted to come on the podcast and talk football, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I wouldn't know anything. He would say like, "Well, what's this?" and I'd be like, "I don't know."
He's so easy to fuck with though. That's all I would try to do is just fuck with him.
I mean, yeah, it's a hard
Jason
life
Garrett,
being
best
a
coach ever.
it's a hard life being a Cowboys fan. I understand.
What do you mean you understand? Hello? I'm not a Cowboys fan. You don't know our pain.
I not okay. I don't understand. I could see the pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just have like good players, but it doesn't quite get there.
God, our team comps have been so good.
Our
Just
team
can't do anything with them.
comp. You did not just say team comp.
Yeah, our team composition. All our players have been pretty good, but fucking hey,
like
we just
like
suck.
in video games.
Yeah, I know
Is that an
exactly where
actual
you're going
term?
with it.
is that an actual term for football, or is Jake gonna let you know that that's not it?
Excuse me, it's rosters.
It's my team comp. I don't have enough healers on my on my football team comp.
The Dallas Cowboys needs better entry fraggers.
Yeah, they need better tanks, man. Entry frag. I can't. I'm crying.
God. God, they need to make an NFL game where it's like a fucking Overwatch style or something.
League of Legends football.
Yes, the most ambitious crossover of all time.
Yes. It could work. It could work. Why not? Pokemon made a League of Legends game. I think football can too.
That's very different economies.
Football does video games. Pokemon does video games.
Yeah, your quarterbacks are ranged attacks.
Yeah,
They
easy.
just throw a spiral right through someone's fucking chest.
Yeah, you've literally invented half of the game. I don't know why you thought this was so hard.
I assigned one position to one role. That's half the game, okay?
There's only 3 positions. That's like a third of the game. Easy. They just like play on a football field and you have like streakers that you have to like as the minions.
Like the naked guys running on the fields?
What else would a streaker be? Yes.
Oh,
well,
I thought you were talking about like a different thing. I didn't know you were talking about that fucking naked guys running on the field.
Okay, are all streakers like naked? Do they have to be naked to be a streaker, or is it just anyone who runs out on the field?
I think.
Or are they just called annoying?
That's.
I just don't.
Annoying. That's usually in the fucking like name. They're streaking, so they take off their clothes.
Okay.
Otherwise, they're attention whores.
You can just, yeah, that. We'll just have groups of them. You can just, that one. Let's do that. You know, I think it'd work.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
All right, which game company, which dev team publisher is picking this up? I think Ubisoft.
I was gonna say, I feel like Raven Studios or whatever, who's behind Call of Duty. Ravens, what is it called? Raven something? Ravensoft?
Raven Software.
Ravensoft. Yeah. Well, it's fine. You could deflate the balls. You could. It's like cheats.
Deflate the balls. That's a fucking perk. It's a power up.
No. It's the people who are like cheating in the game. You add deflated balls. You could performance enhancing drugs.
They're not hacks, they're steroids.
Yeah, the hacks just add steroids. Oh. But it's fine. They just let everyone do it and they don't change anything. And all the accounts are free, so you can just make a new one.
Oh god. With no hardware or IP bans.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
AAA title, by the way.
I think that would be the perfect game. And they'll make like $1 bajillion off of it, but then not put any of the money back into the game, you know?
All right, after this podcast episode airs, I'm going to get a hold of my contacts at Ubisoft and see if we can work something out.
Contacts at Ubisoft. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think it'd work, you know. Get some of the more sports people into video games, you know, people who only play like Madden and like
2K.
Yeah, 2K. Yeah, make them get into other games. Join the community and don't be toxic.
This is a message to all gamers: don't be toxic. Join
the community. Please. just enjoy everything.
Oh god, like those fucking people we were playing against last night on Valorant.
I just muted all of them.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get angry.
Holy shit, though. That game was great. Fucking Rob burning himself in his molly. He had 10 HP and he runs into his molly and dies.
True. That was... I feel bad. But I...
That was so fucking hilarious, though.
Yeah.
Valorant's been fun, though.
Yeah. I enjoy playing it. video games and streaming them on here. It's been fun.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy playing like a team based like competitive game with the with the full team. Reminds me of the old Siege days.
Old. Well, was that even that long ago? Oh, I guess it was
It
like
fucking feels like it has been.
87 years.
It's been 84 years.
Well, I mean, speaking about video games, they're making a lot of new like movies into video games too recently, or like that are coming out in
Hmm.
like the next year or two.
Yeah, didn't you
I
say
think
that they were making another Sonic?
they're making another Sonic, Sonic 2. I'm not sure. I think it's in like it's 2022 for sure. So like in a bit. But they're making another Sonic movie. I guess I think it ended up doing pretty well after they fixed some of like the visual stuff with the movie. The animation was a little off and then they fixed it. And I think it ended up doing pretty well.
I don't think it
And
was so
there's
much
like
the animation; it was just the character model of Sonic
yeah, the character model, not necessarily the animation. They're making an Uncharted movie.
that I'm
It had
actually looking
some
forward to. Jay
it had some
or not
big
Jake,
names in it.
yeah, Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg are
Hmm.
saying, but
Yeah.
Josh was kind of shitting on it when it got released that Tom Holland was going to be the main character.
I don't. Can you go over what Uncharted is again? I don't exactly know like the
Um,
video game.
male Tomb Raider.
Oh. Hmm.
That's that's my best explanation for it.
Tom Harland will be or Tom.
Holland.
Yeah, Holland. I got Tom Hardy and holy cow, Harland. I don't know why I was thinking of Tom Hardy. What? It's like the Venom movie, maybe? But
Probably. I'm super excited for that movie. Holy fuck, Carnage! Let's go, dude.
I know we have uh my boyfriend Seth's been really into Legos recently. We have they make the Lego now makes like busts of things where you can just like get the head and
Yeah,
it's more
yeah,
of
they
like
got a
a
Carnage and Venom one. I saw.
yeah, we have the Carnage one at our and it looks dope. It's so cool. Um
I'm probably gonna fucking buy one at some point. And just throw it up on the back of my couch as a backdrop.
I think they're getting into like the right market. Legos for like people who like grew up with Legos like us and who don't want to just build like a fire truck and like meh, who
Yeah.
actually want like a display pieces. They make like you can get like a picture frame kind of thing that you can build with Legos, but then it comes with like four different things so you can like change it whenever. They had like some like the Star Wars like some of the Sith Lords, like they had like Vader and Darth Maul and
Kyle
someone
Ren.
else. Probably, yeah. All in one, you could change it whenever. They're getting into the right market. Like
Yeah,
I'm
they
down
also
for
have the
all of this.
bonsai tree. That looks really fucking
Yeah,
cool.
and they have like they're making like monstera plants or like the plants with like the huge leaves. I'm seeing them everywhere. It's like this is what I needed. Like I want to still build Legos, but I don't want to build like a fire truck and like a police
Yeah, like the
station.
tiny little play sets that you get for kids.
Yeah, I made a cool. They have like also like little mini ones. I made little baby Yoda,
Yeah,
Grogu,
yeah.
and like the young or the
Mandalorian.
yes, I was thinking young Han Solo, but we have a different young Han Solo. Young Han. Wow, words
Han
on
Yang
the
Solo.
Hung Yang Solo. Sol Han. Yep. Yes. Okay.
Doesn't do the
Well,
big dick.
I mean, before we started recording this, we were going through like all of the movies that were coming out recently. I didn't even know half of these were like a thing. They're coming out with another Indiana Jones movie, Matrix 4, the Jurassic Park. Like this was fun to look through all of this stuff.
Dude, that Antlers movie though that you came across, holy shit.
It's a horror movie coming out called Antlers, and it looks crazy.
Yeah, and for
It's
those that definitely
uh,
go watch the trailer, like pause the podcast, go watch the trailer and come back cuz it's fucking wild. But
it's
basically, spoilers for the trailer, if that's even
uh,
a thing, spoilers for a
yeah.
trailer. But it's about like a little kid that's in school who feeds like a Wendigo, and for those of you who
Crazy
don't know,
demon.
yeah, it's basically like a crazy fucking wildlife demon thing. And they showed some of the imagery of the monster in the trailer, and it looked fucking terrifying.
No, it was not okay. Oh my god.
And
And it's
Lucas.
like it like kills things, like leaves antlers behind, but then it like oh the it if you don't like gore, I feel like it was less. It was a horror. I think there's different categories of like horror movies. There's ones
Oh,
that are like
definitely.
suspense and like jump scares, and this one was definitely like gore heavy and like like suspense also. I feel like it was less jump scares, more of just like gore and
It,
like the story behind it was just kind of fucked and
yeah,
like
it's going
that
to be
kind of
very
stuff.
like atmospheric. I feel
Hmm.
like it's going to build up the suspense, and like you said, the gore aspect is going to be another element of horror. It's not going to be like what a lot of people think of when they think of horror, which is like slasher movies, Friday 13th,
Yeah.
Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street,
Hmm.
Chucky, all that stuff.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be. That's the kind of horror movie like I don't mind those kind of ones. It's like the suspense and like the jump scares ones honestly like get me more. Like I feel like we watched The Nun recently and I feel like that's more of just like that kind of like creepy kind of aspect. It's
Fuck, that
less
movie sucked.
yeah, Seth hates it. But it's the kind of horror movies that like I can like watch because it's less like it's more of just like a scary atmosphere, less of like super jump scares, more of just like, oh, the camera panned this way, and then all of a sudden behind this character there was like a face or whatever. It's less of like super jump scares. There's some in it, but it's more of just like the story is creepy, things around it
Mhm.
are creepy. It's just all
So you
no.
said Seth hates it. Does he hate it because it's scary, or he hates it because it's
Yeah,
bad?
no, he hates it because it's scary,
Oh,
like
I hate it
scary
because
kind
it's
of.
bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
huh.
Yeah.
I am. Huh. Why do you think it is what's the do you have you watched The Nun a few times and do you know the backstory of it? Kind of like could you like explain what like The Nun is a little bit?
From my understanding, I only watched it once in the theaters, and I damn near fell asleep in the theaters watching it. but but basically, the Nun kind of takes place in is it the Annabelle universe, or it's or the Conjuring universe? I don't know. It's one of those universes
Ah,
that the director James Wan was in charge of. I almost want to say it was the Conjuring, but basically it's a demonic nun that people go to exercise it, and scary stuff happens. It's honestly a fairly forgettable. It's very simple but forgettable at the same time. But the reason I didn't like it was because all the jump scares were so easily telegraphed. It was the very typical, okay, character walks down the dark hallway. Something happens that turns the character's attention that way. Character and camera turn back to the original position. Something's there.
yeah, that's probably the reason why I didn't find it like that I could actually watch it. Like there's some horror movies that I don't know, they're just like a lot and they're just like really like I don't know, creepy and whatever. That one I could like watch. It wasn't like but yeah, I guess it's definitely predictable would be like
Mm-hmm.
and once you've seen enough horror movies, you can kind of like tell. But I think that's a big like I think people either think it's like one of the scariest movies or
Or they're
they're
like
like
me, they hate
you. Yeah.
it.
Where it's just like this is like every other horror movie, but just it's with nuns.
Well, you've seen Hereditary, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, now that is a movie that I think does horror very well, where it's not intending on jump scares or gore, although there are some really fucked up scenes in that movie. But it's more just the pure psychological aspect that really messes with people. You have to like get the audience invested in your story and break a little bit of that suspension of disbelief in order to draw the audience in, and then that's what makes it really scary in my mind.
Yeah, I think that movie succeeded in things happened that you would have never expected, like
Mhm.
ever. The Nun was very like, oh, this happened, so then this is gonna happen, like obviously. That movie was like, oh, this person they're driving their sister home, and the
God.
sister accidentally got allergic, and then oh, There's deer or something in the road. Gotta swerve off the road. Oh.
And sister gets a free haircut.
Yeah, free haircut, but also included her head. It just
yeah, free haircut.
But yeah, I think I watched that movie in theaters when it came out with some of my friends. But yeah, that one was, I don't know. It wasn't I feel like some movies are like, we just want to make it like, we don't care about the story as much, just like jump scare, jump scare, jump scare.
Mm-hmm.
Like, story is like afterthought. We just want it to be scary, and we think scary means just make it always like really, really dark and like creepy things.
Yep.
But yeah.
But yeah, the acting in that movie too was so good. I think that's what really drove home a lot of the horror, I guess, because if the acting is good, then your audience will get invested in the characters.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's another thing where it's like, if they're putting so much budget onto like CG and they don't have like enough money to pay for like good actors, or like that they don't care about what the actors are because all I have to do is like be scared or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like acting is also like important, which really separates like good movies from like cringy, weird movies. What do you think about the movie where everyone, I forgot what it's called. I think it's Don't Breathe, the movie where everyone has to be quiet and like.
Oh, because the main guy is blind. Or you talking about the one with the aliens where they have to be quiet?
Yeah. What was that? What was that called? Why am I blanking?
Quiet Place.
Oh no. Yes. Oh my god. Don't Breathe is that other one, I think, with the guy
with the fucking blind. Rapey guy.
Yes, that movie was weird.
I can't believe they fucking made a second one.
They made a second one?
Yeah, they made a second one.
I feel like that should be like another topic on on one in the future of like, not all movies need another one.
Need a sequel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some movies, they're necessary, and sometimes the sequels are better, but not every movie. Especially a movie where it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and nowhere to go after the end.
Yeah, like
needs a second.
Like for some reason trying to keep the story going for some reason.
Yeah.
From the trailer, it looked like they were trying to make the blind guy like the main, like the good guy. It's like, how do you redeem someone like this?
No. You can't, don't. So what were the kids in there originally trying to do?
They were trying to rob the place.
Yeah, okay, so like these kids enter this house to rob the place. They don't think anyone's there.
No, they know.
They do.
From what I remember, they know, but they know that he's like a old war veteran that went blind. So they're like, oh, war veteran, he's gonna have like fucking VA money or something. So they went and were trying to rob the place, and then shit happens.
Yeah, and like the end of the story, they have
that really fucking weird, creepy, fucking side story for the blind guy where where his kid died, and so he wants to make another one.
Yeah, so he like kidnapped someone that like was similar, and it was weird.
Wasn't it the fucking girl or somebody that killed her kid in the car accident or some shit? I don't fucking remember. I wanted to scrub that movie from my mind, to be honest.
Yeah, that one was like, I feel like they could have just gone more in depth of like, because the guy, when the kids were in there, the guy was like trying to kill them. Like, he was just like, what the fuck are you doing in here?
Yeah, get the fuck out of my house.
I feel like they could have focused more on that and like not added that creepy end part. That was just like, I didn't really need this.
That felt very unnecessary.
Yeah, it was like the end. They were like trying to leave. They're like, okay, let's get out of here. And then all of a sudden they're like, wait, what the fuck is this? This is weird. And it's like, it was such at the end of the movie that you didn't even have time to process it. And you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, it felt fucking forced in a way.
Yeah, but I think there's also the Candyman movie coming out. Well, we're on the theme of horror movies.
Fuck yeah. That one's going to be pretty cool, I think.
What's the whole... I feel like you know a lot more about all these horror movies than I do. Like, is there... Where did it come from somewhere? Is it just like...
Yeah, the Candyman was like a old school horror movie from the '70s, I think, '70s or
Oh,
'80s. But I don't remember the exact plot, but basically it's this guy who I think, from what I can kind of piece together, I'm mostly trying to piece it together off of the trailer, but the trailer like tells its own story in a way instead of being like clips from the movie that tell the story. But it's basically this guy I think was supposed to be like very friendly with kids. I'm not sure if they're gonna pull like a Freddy Krueger pedophile fucking flip side here, but I think he became subject to police brutality and killed, but then he comes back as a sort of demon, ghost, whatever, that is called the Candyman, that can kill people essentially in this like building that was supposed to be for, it's supposed to be like low income housing, I believe. But I'm hoping that it's going to be a pretty cool story, especially if they kind of keep it in line with like the old school, the original movie.
yeah. I think like old school like horror movies are definitely like different than horror movies today, and I think it'd be nice to like bring some of that back. It's less like super CG atmosphere. It's like always dark, more of just like
Mm-hmm.
a scare, like if you get like a super creepy, like terrifying like main villain, quote unquote, like that can sell. If any good actors,
Oh yeah.
that can just like make the whole movie. You don't have to have all of like the huge seedy monster antler creepy things.
You're going to be on that movie for a long time.
The it was in my mind. So.
Yeah, like but another one that's going to be coming out is a fucking classic in slasher horror movies that has tremendous acting is Halloween. They're making another Halloween movie, Halloween Kills.
Oh yeah, they're making the. Have they made a lot of Halloween? Did they make another one recently, or was that something else? They've been bringing back a lot of old school movies.
Well, they sort of like rebooted the franchise in 2018, I believe, with Halloween, which
Hmm.
brought back the main girl from the original series, Laurie Strode. Fucking blanking on the actress's name. Fantastic actress, though. But they brought her back, and you know, it's so weird the timeline because I think in the original or in the original movie series, I think there were like 8 movies or something like that. Then they had the 2 Rob Zombie movies that came out in the late 2000s, and now they have this trilogy that they're making, or at least thinking it's a trilogy from what you said, that there was a third movie called Halloween Ends.
Oh yeah, in like 2023 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
But I'm looking forward to that. I'm a slasher fiend. Fucking, you know, Jason Voorhees is like my favorite.
Mm.
Friday 13th, my favorite like horror movies out there.
Do you think a lot of these reboots are doing like are actually like good compared? I know we talked about earlier about like some sequels and some bringing back of movies like isn't necessary, but do you think these do like a good job of that?
I think so. I think it helps because one of the main issues, or I guess not really a main issue, but a sort of issue that a lot of the older movies had was because they were originated in like the 70s or 80s. The acting was a little hit or miss for horror at the time because horror wasn't seen as like a huge market. There wasn't a great big market for it really. It was mostly like, you know, your comedies, dramas, whatever, action movies. So the acting was kind of hit or miss, as well as like a lot of the effects for like the kills, although they were really creative with a lot of the kills, which in slasher movies is one of the main draws for that fan base is how creative and extra the kills are. So back then, even though they were very iconic, the reboots that they're doing now are able to level that up even more just because of bigger budgets and how far technology and acting has grown over the years.
Yeah. I know you were also talking about, not to get off of horror super quickly, but I know you want to talk about Venom.
Oh
Because
yeah.
you're super excited, so.
God, I am super excited because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I mean, fucking
Mm.
look back there. I got
Yeah,
little Spidey back there chilling
little
on my couch.
Spidey.
But yeah, I fucking love Spider-Man because I grew up with Spider-Man. You know, I first comics I ever read was Spider-Man comics. Fucking grew up with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies,
Yeah, same.
the video games, all that stuff. So, and Venom is one of my favorite like characters just in comic books in general. So, I loved seeing as no as much shit as it gets. I love Spider-Man 3 just for adding Venom, even though the reason that movie was shit in the first place was because they added Venom. but
I
but I love seeing the character that I love so much come to the big screen. But now they're doing it actually proper, I guess, in the Sony movies. Although I really wish that they would give the rights back to Marvel because I know Marvel, those guys at Marvel are just killing it when it comes to their movies because a lot of them really care about the source material. But anyways, I love the character design of Venom in these Sony movies. Tom Hardy is a fucking phenomenal
he's
actor.
like the perfect actor for that. I don't know if you
God,
could get someone. He's great at it.
God, I love that man. He's one of my favorite actors in general. He kills in every single role that he gets. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people credit him for why the Venom movie works so well because Tom
That
Hardy is so great. But now you have fucking Tom Hardy and god damn it, I just blanked on his fucking name. Um
I don't
oh
know.
my god, I literally just completely fucking forgot his name. The dude that plays Cleus Cassidy, Carnage. Fuck. It's going to drive me up the fucking walls now. I can't remember his name. But he's a phenomenal actor as well. So you throw both of them in these roles in the same movie, fuck, it's going to be so goddamn good.
I got. It's not like Woody Harrelson, is
That's
it? No,
it. Woody
he's
Harrelson.
he. It is.
Yes, Woody Harrelson.
He plays.
Yep, he's the one that he plays Cleus Cassidy in this movie.
Hmm,
And
I mean,
and I know Woody Harrelson, he's sort of like Willem Dafoe-esque where he'll just throw himself into a role and fucking kill
uh,
it. Because like Willem Dafoe when he played Green Goblin in the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, fucking oh god, I'm just geeking out right now because I'm so excited to see this shit.
yeah, I feel like he plays so many. Woody Harrelson plays so many roles. Zombieland. This is such a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
At least I haven't. I don't think I even watched the second one, but the first one was just so good. It's like comedy, and I feel like Venom is kind of that, like, serious and action yet some comedy. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of like Marvel. I know it's not Marvel anymore, but a lot of like the Marvel stuff like tries to go for that. Kind of like some comedic relief, like the Thor movies. I feel like had a lot of it. Spider-Man definitely, and I feel like that works really well in a lot of the movies where it's like takes you out of just like, oh, there are still people.
Yeah.
Some comedic like whatever. But no, I'm excited for it too. I think it'll be great.
Yeah, because that's like a huge thing with Spider-Man. Definitely is that he's very
Mm,
witty, he's very sarcastic and snappy. Like you go read the comics, he's always talking shit in the middle of a fight.
yeah, I know everyone. Like I think a lot of people like Tobey Maguire was like their favorite Spider-Man, but I think Tom.
Tom Holland,
Yes, I was gonna say the
Harland.
Harold's or Harland again or something, and no, he does. I think he does a really great job at the comedic stuff, and he's also. I feel like they're trying to place it, at least in some of the older ones, where he's still in high school, yet he's also trying to be Spider-Man. I think he did a really
Mm-hmm.
good job with that movie. I hope he doesn't get too much crap for being, but he's like a really good actor. I don't know if he can fit in like every single acting role, but at least for some of that like comedic stuff, I don't know, he's really
There,
good at.
there is a movie on Netflix. I can't remember the exact name, but it's like The Devil in Us All or something like that. It has Tom Holland in it. It's a super serious
Oh,
drama movie that's set in like the 1950s or 60s in Virginia. It's a fantastic movie, especially with a lot of the acting. I highly recommend watching it, especially if you want to see Tom Holland's acting range.
I'll have to check that out. I feel like some movies I only see people in certain roles. Um, but yeah, I'll have to check that out. I like being able to see. I don't think a lot of, especially the superhero, because once you're in a superhero movie, you're in like you're known for that movie. You are like that superhero, and I
Yeah,
think it's nice. You know, like Robert Downey Jr. did a lot. He does in a lot of different movies, and I think it's nice to be able to see actors as them being able to move on and do other things, and not just see them as their, even if it's not a superhero, even if it's Johnny Depp being uh
Captain Jack
pirate.
Sparrow.
Yes. And I think that's like a good thing for them to do. And I don't know if every actor can do that. Like I don't know if I could see um Chris Hemsworth not being
Thor.
freaking Thor, or like Captain America man, Chris
Yeah, Chris
Evans.
Evans.
Okay, there's so many Chris's.
Yeah,
Um,
there are.
or like not being able to see him as like Captain America, but I think it's nice that he's able to do other roles and
Mhm.
like exceed or
Yeah,
yeah,
because
do good.
you know a lot of people hate on Marvel, the MCU movies for being kind of like same feeling, I guess, along all of them. Like they all just kind of feel the same. They kind of blend together. But it's nice to see that like these actors break out of these roles and avoid being typecast as these characters and excel in the other movies that they act in. Because Chris Hemsworth, I'm pretty sure he kind of got big off of the Thor movies, but he went and did a lot of other movies. Like he just did a movie with Netflix called Extraction, which is kind of like a gun fighting type movie. Almost, I don't want to say military esque, but that's almost the feel based off of like his whole get up and like his kit and stuff. But again, he fucking kills the role, and he just did it really well as a action guy.
What was that? Oh, I feel like they're also trying to get out of more of like their traditional, like a traditional superhero movie. You know, like Marvel kind of like was sort of like the founder kind of almost of like this superhero movies. Like they were like the big producer of all the super movies. And I think they're trying to like spread out. I feel like this new Morbius movie seems, you know, different than a lot of their traditional like Iron Man, Captain America kind of
Hmm.
movies and stuff. So,
Yeah, like the bright, like this is the hero, we are the heroes going after the bad guys type movie. It's cool to see that they're gonna try to focus more on like anti-heroes and stuff like that.
yeah, and so it's like this guy who has this like this Morbius movie is this guy who's which is a Marvel movie. He has a rare blood disease and he's like doing he I don't know if he becomes a doctor, he becomes some kind of like scientist and like tries to research a way to like get rid of this, but he like they find something out and he like goes out and he like trailer spoiler, he like cuts his hand and all these bats start like attacking it. It was kind of, I mean, you'd have to see the movie probably to like understand it all, but then he ends up becoming this like half like he has echolocation, but he's
He
also like has
basically becomes a
moves like a werewolf.
vampire.
Yeah. So it's definitely completely different than like all of these other like Marvel movies where it's just like this one person who either has these powers and they're just like trying to save people, but it's like I feel like it's which those are good movies, you know, like I feel like the Black Panther movies, which were kind of like similar to all those other movies, but those were like super good because they were still like just like a little bit different with the graphics and like the backstory was different than like what we were all like used to. But I think this will be a good different Marvel movie. So I feel like I would encourage people who don't like Marvel movies to watch this one because I think it's different enough that we might like it.
Yeah. Yeah, and also if you don't like Marvel movies because you kind of have the stigma of they all feel the same. One, you're wrong, and
No.
and two, I think you just gotta be more open minded about it because I feel like a lot of people that have that mentality are very just they put their blinders on and they don't want to they just want to believe that that's the case, but they don't really acknowledge that a lot of the Marvel movies actually aren't really the same, because how can you say that Thor Ragnarok is the same as Captain America the Winter Soldier?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of movies also are different. I feel like a lot of the Thor movies are a lot more like comedic than like either like the Avengers movies or like other stuff. I feel like, they have not all the characters are like the same. It's not like Iron Man is like the same as like Thor just because they're superheroes. They're like similar, but like their personality is like so much different. It's not like they all are like talking the same. It's I don't know. I
Yeah,
think they do a good job because there's so many different comics and superheroes, and they all like tie together, and some of them are different. I think they do a good job of like keeping them separate, similar but different, and
hmm
like they can tie them together, and you don't have to at the beginning of the movie be like, oh, this is this character and this is this character. Like the movies will like go in succession and like add up to like a bigger movie, or it just makes sense. I don't know. I think they do a really good job with all of their movies. I like them at least.
yeah. The MCU movies have done a pretty good job at paying homage to the source material, which is the comics and everything. But
Hmm.
but yeah, like even like within some of the main series or trilogies, like you were saying, the Thor movies, like Thor Ragnarok is way different than the first two Thor movies, because the first two were kind of like seen as like the very boring ones because they're very like, oh my father, I must speak very proper to you, and we are a hierarchy of powerful beings. Whereas Thor Ragnarok, it's like it's very like slapstick comedy. Like Thor throws a fucking ball out a window, and it bounces back and smacks him in the face and lays him on his ass. Like you're not going to get that in the first two Thor movies, especially the second one, which was like very much more dark than the first one and third one. But yeah, like all the movies have their different feels to them. It's just people gotta see past the whole MCU Marvel BS. Take those blinders off and enjoy some good movies.
Yeah, I think also character development in those movies is impressive also.
Hmm
It's and I think, some could say like, oh, the acting whatever, but I it takes a certain actor to be able to, once you're a superhero, you basically have to like be that person. You have to understand like basically everything about everything, and like if you're going to have a character development, or like it was it one of the it was one of the Avengers movies where like Thor got like, I don't know if he got super depressed because like he got super depressed because everyone died and he went off to this like island, and he just ate shit. He got super fat, and like that Thor was the opposite of every other Thor. And being able to
hmm
do that, you might think is like easy, but I think him being able to understand and like play and like just, I don't know. I thought it was really well done. So.
Yeah, the Thor that you're talking about there was the difference between Thor in Infinity War and Thor in Avengers Endgame, because Thor got very depressed and everything after Infinity War, so that's when he became a drunk, like an alcoholic, and just let himself go and stop being a hero. Was in Endgame, which I personally didn't like, because I was
I,
like, because his character in Infinity War was like my perfect vision for how Thor is. Like he went through all that shit, but he still tries to put on a smile. He still has that fire in him to kill Thanos after everything that he did. But I just
I
love Thor in Infinity War so much, and to see that they kind of made him like a kind of stupid character and Endgame. They did do him justice at the end though, but him in Infinity War was like my perfect vision of Thor.
Yeah, I understand that also, but I feel like so many superhero movies and like almost all superhero movies, all the superheroes have like this great like vision of like they're always like great, and I feel like Tony Stark could be like another where he's not always perfect and he makes mistakes and he gets like too big of an ego
Hmm.
and stuff, and I feel like introducing that in and just like understanding that like they're not all perfect and they're not always have the same attitude of like time to go make the universe great. He's like also human, even though he's like a god. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that they did him like justice at the end. I think it would have been bad if he just like quit and he's like, I'm done. um, but I don't know. I thought it was like necessary and like a good like change of pace where he's with like Rocket, who's this like little raccoon who just is, she just likes guns pretty much, and then he's just like a god and he's like hiding behind him. He's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go talk to my mom, even though she's alive anymore. And he's like, I don't want to do this. I just thought like that part was kind of funny. So I mean, I understand like that, but I think it's important to like, and they do a really good job of like showing like characters when
Yeah.
they're not perfect.
Yeah, because that's kind of like Tony Stark in Iron Man 2 was. He was essentially kind of like on the brink of death because he was being poisoned by the arc reactor in his chest. So he just said, "No, fuck it, I'm just going to live life how I want to," and he became like an alcoholic, arrogant asshole that didn't care about who he affected or what consequences his actions were going to have. Like fucking at the beginning of the movie, pretty much he goes off and races in like a Formula One race, even though he's just a fucking guy. He's not a
He's just
fucking
a guy.
he's not a Formula One driver. Or
Yeah.
they have that birthday party for him, and he's just fucking around in the Iron Man suit, like blasting bottles out of the air and
Mm-hmm.
just being a dickhead to his best friend. But then they redeem him by having him look at his mistakes, and he fucking grows from it. Like you almost wouldn't expect the Tony Stark in in Iron Man 2 to sacrifice himself in Endgame.
Yeah, and I think that like I think a similar thing went through because I like grew up like watching like basically when I started watching all these movies was like right when Iron Man started. It was like 2008 or whatever, and I
Yep.
was what like 10 or like 11. It was like just when it started, and I was like watching them, and that was like when the second one came out. That was like kind of what you went through with like Thor and stuff. I was like, oh, it's like first superhero movie. Superhero movies are awesome, and now this guy's just being an ass. Like I don't like that. And then I think that's how they get it with like the character development. Like I don't think if Tony didn't go through that, he would be the person who's like trying to be like a father figure to uh Peter and being like, "Hey, it's okay."
Yeah.
Tony Stark, I don't feel so good. Sad.
God,
I cried. I
I
cried.
did too.
But I think it's all necessary, like Doctor Strange being like an asshole at the beginning of the movie, being like, "This all is stupid. Like, what the fuck is going on? I just want to live. Like, I want to do all this." Like, I don't think he could be as like good as he is or do what he's doing if he wasn't like started
Mhm.
out like that. Like, I think having superheroes be like they're not always perfect. They don't just start out being good and then they're just always good and then they just die being good.
Yeah,
But
because Tony
it's
Stark and Doctor Strange kind of have like the same origin stories almost, where they're these very rich, super smart, just arrogant billionaire playboys, but
mm-hmm.
they have this tragic accident that they have to overcome and live with, and they go through these humbling experiences that shapes them into the hero that they can be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I think I grew up with the Marvel movies. I enjoy them. So I
Yep.
think I'm excited for those. But I think we can probably end the, at least, or the movie section or the podcast with what's, besides Venom, what is the movie that you're most looking forward to coming out?
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
I should have said also beside. Okay. Three three movies. One can be Venom, one can be Spider-Man. What is your other one?
um. Oh, that's a good question.
I wanted to
I
see like
I
not
I
an obvious one.
I would probably go with Halloween Kills just because I love horror movies as well. And the Halloween movies is a huge staple in the horror franchise, especially the slasher franchise or genre, I should say. So yeah,
Yeah.
I probably go Halloween Kills.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know the Suicide Squad movie has already come out, but I haven't seen it,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanna. I think I can watch it with my HBO Max subscription. I kind of want to watch that. I enjoy, I know sometimes they're just to get all the big. I like watching movies with big actors in it that I like. I also like watching movies with not big actors, but I just think all the actors in the movie look so good, and like, I don't know, it just looks like a really good movie. So I definitely want to watch that. I think I'll probably watch this Antlers movie when it comes out. I know Seth likes
Oh
the
yeah,
horror movies as well. That seems cool. I feel like I'll watch the Jackass movie.
I probably
I
will
I
too.
watched I watched the. I hope it's good. I hope it's not one of those sequels that it's like you didn't need to make a sequel. This isn't as good.
Yeah,
But I hope it's good.
yeah, I'll probably watch that too. I'm still traumatized by some of the parts on from Jackass 3D.
It says Machine Gun Kelly's gonna
Yep,
be in it.
yeah,
Was he
MGK is in there.
always? He wasn't like in any of the other ones, right?
No, it was just this one. They have a trailer released for
No.
for the movie, and they showed that MGK is in there.
That'll
I
be
I think
interesting.
I think Pete Davidson might be in there as well. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember.
I'll check because I see, like the normal, Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, Chris Pontius.
Did they have Bam in there?
Uh, who? Oh
Bam
yeah,
Margera?
Bam. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Steve-O, Knoxville, Preston's in there, Bam's in there, Dave's in there, Wee Man's in
I was
there.
about to say, gotta have Wee Man in there.
Gotta have Wee Man. Tyler the Creator's in there, I
Oh
guess.
shit.
But oh my gosh, there's so many people. I don't know a lot of these people, but there's a lot of people. I don't see what's his
Pete
face?
Davidson.
Yeah, I don't see
And that's
him.
kind of surprising. I figured they would try to get him in there.
There's Tony Hawk.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I I think it'll be good. I hope they still do some crazy stuff, even though they're getting older now. I hope they. I don't want any of them to get hurt. I enjoy all of them, but I hope
Yeah.
that they do some crazy stuff. I feel like we all need that after, the past year and a half just to watch a movie, just to
Yeah, watch some stupid
laugh at
shit.
it. Yeah, just watch some stupid shit. That's what I need right now. Watch some stupid
Yeah.
shit. So
Hell yeah.
I think that'll be good.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to end the podcast is go watch some stupid shit. Like the beginning of
Yeah.
this podcast, which should be up on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that was great. Good
Oh
time.
yeah.
We technical difficulties aside, we trucked through without Ryan, even though he's our tech wizard.
Yep.
We did it. Yeah, I'm proud.
Yep. Even though Ryan's not here, the show must go on.
I hate. Why?
But even though the show must go on, the show must end at some point. Thank you guys for watching the KeyBoard podcast. This is episode 4. We love you. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Goodbye.